So before we get into the video, I want to quickly update you guys on what's going on. So I'm going to be getting back into making different kinds of videos similar to my videos from 2 or 3 years ago. And this will be the first video where I'm talking about the most practical Lee Sin mechanics you can use in games to become a better overall Lee Sin player. All of the mechanics mentioned are moves that people already know, but if you're watching this hoping to master the Blind Monk, these are the most important advanced mechanics to learn. Keep in mind there's almost an endless amount of mechanics you can learn on Lee Sin, but most of them are just to look flashy. I know I'm guilty of this, but they don't provide any practical use in real games where you're trying to simply win the game. So I broke down the 5 most unstoppable Lee Sin mechanics you can start to practice. The first unstoppable Lee Sin mechanic is probably the most common play you'll see a really good Lee Sin player use, and you'll especially see this a lot in pro level games. It's probably the most advanced mechanic you'll see pros actually use while on the stage, and that's because of just how hard it is to anticipate. And the move I'm talking about is the ladder insec. The ladder insec is one of those plays that if you pulled off in game, you'll probably catch the attention of the other players in the game for how flashy it looked, and you might just tilt the enemy ADC into rage quitting or flaming or just overall feeling helpless. Alright guys, so I just want to quickly show you how to do the ladder insec and when you would want to try and pull this off in game. So the way the ladder insec works is it starts with a sonic wave onto a target. It can be an enemy champion or a minion wave. You follow up with your resonating strike, and then you ward hop into a kick flash on a further away target. So typically I use this to catch out important carries, mid laners, or ADCs. The reason why it's so good is because the way your ult works is if you pay attention, there's actually a suppress, a very small duration where the target is suppressed. You see how it says rooted whenever I ult them? When they're rooted, they cannot use flash. So what happens is when you go in for this kick, since you're leading with your kick before kick flashing, they can't actually anticipate it and flash away unless if they are very, very fast. So when you have a carry that's far away, you surprise them with this, and it almost always will lead to them getting caught out if you use it at the right time, and of course you pull off the mechanic properly. So I usually use this when there's really one fed target on the enemy team where if we kill that target, it could change the fight. It doesn't even matter if I die from going in that deep. If I'm able to kick someone, especially in the later parts of the game, into my team, an ADC, a mid lane, that's usually when it is the most effective. Okay guys, so the next unstoppable Lee Sin mechanic I recommend you learn and master would be the Q/RQ. I never came up with a good name for this move, but it's actually very simple, even though it looks really cool when you do it correctly. Much like the ladder insec, the reason why this mechanic is so effective is because it's almost impossible to react to. In fact, I would say the only real way to react to it is with scripts, just because of how fast you can run this combo. Okay guys, I want to quickly give you a tutorial on how to do this mechanic and when is the best time to use it. So again, the combo is Q/RQ. It's probably the easiest mechanic on this list today, and that's because there's only 4 buttons you have to press, but it is so effective. So this is what it looks like. And you can actually reverse it and do QRFQ because of the way your R gets input buffered with flash. So that is what the QRFQ looks like. It's just a little quicker, but it's not really necessary to do it because both are very quick. So the best time to use this mechanic is when you are getting chased down by someone, or you have a really small window of opportunity to grab a pick on a squishy target. So like junglers that I typically like to use this on are like kindreds, junglers that have some form of survivability, but you don't want to let them have the opportunity to trigger that. So the Q/RQ is good in those situations. And then of course, like I said, when you're getting chased, no one ever expects it, and you can pull off some pretty nice one-shot plays. Number 3 on the list of unstoppable Lee Sin mechanics is the quick sec. The quick sec is a variation of the ladder insec, but it's much faster and much harder to react to. The quick sec can come off as a bit flashy, but there's actually a good practical use for running this combo. Once again, it's nearly impossible to react to, and it's an important tool to ensure smoother insects. Now this mechanic is probably the one that I use the least just because there's other ways to do it that I prefer. But if you're talking about a straight up unstoppable mechanic, quicksec is one of the best. So here's how you do the quicksec. You first land your Q on the target, and then you're gonna ward hop and cancel the ward hop midair with your resonating strike like this. So you see how before I even reach the ward, I'm canceling the W and queuing to that target. Now what that allows us to do is that allows us to now use all of our abilities in midair, and we can input buffer them as well. So we're gonna be doing the quicksec, which is where you Q, ward hop to the side, cancel with your Q again, and then you kick flash midair. So it looks like this. There's absolutely no window to react. It's one of the best mechanics for ensuring that you get a successful insec. There are some cons to it, such as not being able to ward hop to then escape after the play, but overall I think the quicksec is one of the best mechanics for catching out backline. And of course, I have to mention the Chinese Insec next. The Chinese Insec has grown to become the most popular mechanic on YouTube. It's by far the most flashy, the most innovative, and the most difficult mechanic on this list, but it's actually such a good combo to learn if you're trying to take your Lee Sin micro to another level. So let's get into how to do this combo. I've explained this one so many times on my channel. I think it became popular after I reviewed a Chinese player who started doing this mechanic, hence why I named it the Chinese Insec in the first place. But the mechanic is, again, playing off of input buffers. This time you're going to be input buffering your W with your flash. So what that allows you to do is ward hop from twice the distance, like such. And you can actually run that midair with an insec attached to the end of it to get very long insects in a very short amount of time. So here's what it looks like against an actual target. Or you can even throw a Q at the beginning so that you can have an escape as well, like such. Times I would do this, well, there's really no specific time that I would run this, but if you're feeling very confident with your Lee Sin play and you want to take it up a notch, the Chinese Insec is still a move that I would say is practical and very impressive. And last on the list of unstoppable Lee Sin mechanics is the In-and-Out Insec. The In-and-Out Insec is a combination of the ladder Insec and the Q flash RQ, allowing you to catch out enemies and also escape in the process. There's been many players on the receiving end of this combo from me over the years, and it is my favorite combo to use. Alright guys, now lastly I want to give you a tutorial on the In-and-Out Insec, the last Insec in the last combo on this list. I absolutely love this one. This is my personal favorite one to run in game. It's effective, it looks flashy, and it's really not that hard when you get down the mechanic. Get the muscle memory down, it's really not that difficult. So here's what the combo looks like. Bang. So it's Q ward hop, kick flash, Q. So you simply Q the target, ward hop into distance for a kick flash, and then you Q to safety. Very simple. You guys have probably seen me run this a million times, but it is by far the best, most practical Lee Sin mechanic, and it's also very fun to use. So one more time. Now that concludes my list of unstoppable Lee Sin combos. These combos were meant to be difficult and advanced, but also obtainable and practical moves you can start implementing today. You can practice any of these moves in Practice Tool, which is what I did over the years to improve. So whether you were just curious or you're looking to actually use these combos, please leave a comment below telling me which Lee Sin combo you like the best and what content you'd like to see from me in the future. As always, I appreciate your view and your support. If you could leave a like and hit that sub button, I'd be very grateful. But that's it for me today, and have a good one.